Okay, good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday, March 4th. We just came out of an executive session for the purpose of purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property at 333 Andover Street in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A6, and for the purpose of discussing strategies with respect to litigation involving Sonia Halliday in accordance with Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, as an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the town's position as so determined by the chairman. So with that said, seeing a full complement of our board, would you please stand and salute the flag? Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And before we start the meeting, what I'd like to do is that if we'd like to offer a moment of silence for a longtime Finance Committee member and former chair, John Doherty, who passed away recently. John was a longtime Wilmington resident. He was the owner of Wilmington Insurance Agency for many years. His late wife is Terry LaBella. John was also involved for years with Wilmington Rotary. One of his pastimes is he loved Disney World, and rumor has it that he was there over 100 times. John leaves a sister, Joanne Doherty, Terry's daughter, Stacy LaBelle, and granddaughter, Cecilia LaBelle. So I'd like to offer a moment of silence in John's memory. Thank you. I'd like to entertain a motion to review and sign payroll and bills payable, warrants out of session. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor? 5 in favor. Thank you very much. We have approval of minutes from 9 February 2026. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. DePalma, is there a second? Ms. Lucelli, is there any discussion? All in favor? Okay, we're a little late. We apologize for that, but we'd like to, we have several appointments tonight. First is Daniel Brennan, Brennan Permit Consultants, LLC, on behalf of Chipotle Mexican Grill of Colorado, LLC, DBA Chipotle Mexican Grill, regarding a request to obtain a common vicular license for property located at 208 Main Street. Mr. Brennan, good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, board members. My name's Daniel Brennan. I handle permits and licenses for Chipotle in the New England region. Here today for a new store in town at 208 Main Street. It's part of a multi-tenant building. Our space is just under 2,500 square feet. We'll have 41 interior seats and then 6 seasonal patio seats. We do have a drive-up pickup window. It's not your conventional drive-through. It's just for pickup only. There's no menu board. It's called a Chipotlane, they call it. Basically, they can just go through and pick up their order rather than come inside. We're under construction. We're working through, getting close to calling final inspections at the end of the month and hope to turn over to operations April 1st, and then open 2 weeks later after training, April 15th. Proposed hours are 10:30 to 11, 7 days a week.
Excuse me. Okay, fantastic. Welcome to Wilmington. Hopefully, depending on the vote of the board, is there any questions from the board members?
I got no questions.
Mr. Palmer?
No, I have no questions at all.
Nope,
Okay,
Just when you're going to open.
we're excited about it.
April 15th.
sounds great. Is there a motion to approve his license?
So moved.
Mr. De Palma, is there a second?
Second,
Oh,
oh, doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. Mr. Yerwar, is there any discussion? All in favor? Welcome to Wilmington. We look forward to having you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you very much,
Take
sir.
care.
We appreciate you coming tonight. Okay. Our 7:10 appointment is a public hearing continued, rules and regulations for alcohol license. Joe, you'd like to step forward, please? Basically, what we did is that we inadvertently had an initial public hearing for I think it was the 8th of February, so we continued it to this proper date, which was supposed to be the second meeting in February, which got canceled due to a snowstorm, so here we are. And being a public hearing, I'd like to entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
It's already open.
Mr. De Palma, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Gailwar. Is there any discussion? I'll take a roll call vote. We'll start with Mr. Kyra.
Kevin Curry is.
Jacob Ewer, yes.
Frank West, yes.
William Maselli, yes.
Gary DePalma, yes.
Welcome, Mr. Maselli.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Welcome again.
I'm back for, third time now? Well, Chipotle, that one's going to be hard to beat, but I'll try to make this entertaining. And for the record, Mr. Chair, Joe Maselli, 25 North Street, Chair of the Economic Development Committee. I know we spent some time the prior meeting, and I think the meeting before, kind of going over the changes that would be taking effect as a result of adopting the new rules and regulations for the license holders here in town. So I'm not going to go too much into a deep dive, but at this time, if any board members, license holders, or members of the public have any questions about the new proposed rules and regulations, I'm happy to entertain those questions at this time.
Okay, board members?
Good.
Mr.
I
Palmer.
just want to say congratulations to the Economic Development Committee. This was a task that should have been done years and years ago. You took it upon yourselves, and I believe you put together a product that will be accepted and will flourish in the town with generating some new revenue. I just want to say thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Any other board members? Ms. Manager, do you have any comments at all? Or?
No, although there was one question that I had received as to whether or not current licensees could take advantage of the new regulations, and according to town council, they can. Good.
Okay.
They won't have to come back in.
Excellent.
Okay. And being a public hearing, is there any member of the public that would like to speak on this particular article? Okay. With that, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Mr. Gailwar, the second, Mr. De Palma. All in favor by roll call?
Kevin Curry is.
Jacob Ewer, yes.
Frank West, yes?
William Maselli, yes.
Gary DePalma, yes.
Thank you. And you,
I would like to
Good.
make a motion to adopt and approve the updated rules and regulation alcohol licenses as written.
Second?
okay. Is there any discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you
job.
for all the hard work on that, Joe.
Yes.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mr.
it.
Manager.
And all the members of the Economic Development
Yeah.
Committee who worked on it, thank you very much, because it was,
Good job.
yeah, it was a big deal.
Okay. With that, we have that next, I guess it would be an appointment with the town manager, I would say. Preliminary discussion on annual town meeting non-petition warrant articles.
Sure, and so I just wanted to mention that if you felt it was appropriate, given that there are people here, you could ask if you want to take that out of order, given that we have folks. at the
Okay.
meeting, and I'm not sure how long this is going to take.
You said 8 o'clock. Do you,
But I do believe Ms. Keough is here.
Ms.
so-
Keough? Yes. Would you like to speak now, or would you like to hold off until a little later?
Sure that we're gonna get more people, because they were expecting more 7:30-ish.
Okay, so we'll continue, and then we'll come back at 7:30.
Is that all right?
I just wanted to,
Yeah.
since there are people waiting for that, I thought we just might,
Yeah.
if we want to do that at 7:30.
Yeah, why don't we wait, we'll wait till,
All right, so these are the non-petitioned warrant articles. So a lot of these are going to be relatively rote, things that we do every year.
Yep.
So the first non-petition warrant article is to acknowledge the ballot for the election that will be happening in April for the two members of the select board. 2 members of the school committee, and 1 member of the housing authority for a term of 5 years, and 1 member of the housing authority for a term of, that is a regular one. Article number 2 is to hear reports of committees and act thereon. Article number 3 is to see if the town will raise, appropriate, transfer available funds or borrow pursuant to any applicable statute, a sum of money for purpose of paying any unpaid bills from previous years. At this point in time, I don't believe we have any unpaid bills, but
That's good.
in case that happens between now and the special town meeting, we keep that on. Number 4 is the article to authorize the treasurer collector to enter into agreements with banks doing business in the Commonwealth for a term not to exceed 3 years, so we can maintain funds in our deposits. Article number 5, as it is regularly, is the annual budget. So that's, that comes up. Article number 6 is the
Capital equipment.
capital plan. As we did last year, we have the capital plan as one budget item as opposed to broken down into individual budget items. The moderator and the town seemed to accept that last year, so we're going to be doing that again this year.
Mr. Chair, question to the.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, if I didn't look at the vehicle book, how many police cruisers are we purchasing?
So there, I think originally this was supposed to be 5, but one that was going to be replaced was in an accident. So I think it's 3 cruisers and 1 it's an F-250. One of those cruisers is a traffic vehicle and not a regular cruiser. Anybody have any other questions about the capital plan? As I noticed to everyone here, in the revised budget, we have pulled forward the Wildwood School demolition and abatement that was in an out year, has been moved to the FY27 plan, so that is reflected in the plan here.
And all this will be discussed tomorrow at the joint planning board, finance
We'll all
committee
discuss these
hearing.
again at the planning board
Yeah.
public hearing, so
So we can go,
we'll be going through them again, yes. Article number 7, to see if the town will vote to appropriate the PEG access. This is the article that allows us to take in money from the cable companies, and that money is then sent on to WCTV. Article number 8, this is transferring funds for the 4th of July celebration. That is an article that's been on the warrant annually for many years.
Mr. Chair, through the, do we have figures on all these?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same.
What's the PEG and what's the?
So the PEG access is,
Usually we get figures.
yeah, the PEG access is $500,000. The 4th of July is $50,000. So in Article number 10, these are the transfers to the VFW Clubhouse and the American Legion of $750 each.
I'm sorry again to be a pain in the neck, but did we miss number 9?
Skip
yeah,
9.
9, yeah.
Memorial Day, Veterans Day.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, to vote to raise an appropriate transfer of available funds for the observance of Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
11,000?
Yeah, those are,
Say 12, I didn't know something.
yeah, I believe it's 8,000.
8,000?
So again, Article 10 was the transfer of funds to the VFW and the American Legion Clubhouse. Article number 11 is to determine the spending limits for revolving accounts. There are 3 revolving accounts, 1 for compost bin revolving fund, 1 for subsurface sewage disposal, which is $4,500, 1 for the subsurface sewage disposal upgrade revolving fund, which is $200,000, and 1 for the high school fields revolving fund, which is $25,000. Article 12, oh shoot, I did not bring my budget with me, so I apologize. This is the funding that's in the budget for the sewer department, so it's in the line item of the budget. We'll get that number. The Article 13 is to transfer funds into OPEB. That is the $1 million as the town has done for many years. Article 14, to see if the town will vote to transfer into capital stabilization. We're going to be transferring $4 million from free cash into capital stabilization. As folks will recall, as part of the school project, we transferred $15 million out of capital stabilization to support that project. So the idea would be over the next few years, we're going to increase our transfers into capital stabilization to build that back up. This is the retirement stabilization. This is $1.5 million that we transferred to the retirement stabilization fund. So again, prior to last year, we had been transferring this money directly to Middlesex Retirement to pay down our pension liability. We decided last year, we're continuing this year to transfer it to our own fund. That way, we may be able to pay off that liability earlier than before, because when you give it directly to Middlesex, they just amortize that over years. Your end date is still your end date. You just pay less every year.
And we get the interest off the,
And we get the interest off of it, yes. The Article 16 is a standard article to see if the town will transfer from various lines. That's if for some reason lines end in a deficit at the end of the year. We would be coming in with those numbers at the time of town meeting. Again, Article 17 is another, just in case we overspend our snow and ice budget and can't cover it from within DPW's budget, we're allowed to cover it with free cash. We're allowed to deficit spend snow and ice. And in this winter, I do believe we have overspent our budget for snow and ice. That's not really surprising.
they've done a wonderful job.
They have done a great job, and kudos to them. And then if for some reason we do need to take it from free cash or some non-FY26 budget source, this would be how we would cover that deficit.
It doesn't say free cash in the article, should it?
Well-
From available funds?
Yeah, that's transfer from available funds, counts as free cash.
Okay. Do you have a figure on that?
We don't know that yet. They're still, right now, the last time I talked to Jamie, they were overspent by about 180,000. That they had not gotten all the bills from the storm last week. He anticipated by the end of the season, given the events that are coming, it would be somewhere between $220,000 and $250,000. But we may be able to cover that from other lines within the budget and not need to transfer from free cash. So this is just if we have to transfer it from free cash. You're also allowed to raise and appropriate from next year's budget, which I don't, we would never do that, but some towns do. This is Article 18, to see if the town rose to vote to raise and appropriate, transfer funds or borrow funds to complete the construction of the North Wilmington Fire Substation. So the numbers for this that we're holding until we get the final numbers, which we should have sometime in late April, is $12 million from free cash and $4 million from the overlay. So a total of $16 million.
It seems expensive for a building that's supposed to be a shell with apparatus in it.
Yeah, this is actually, we looked at the budget, it was actually higher. We've pulled it down by taking out some things from the building to try to stay within a reasonable budget. This is about a 14,500 square foot building, including the apparatus bays and the mezzanine above the apparatus bays. And when you look at the cost per square foot for construction of this sort of building, this is what it adds up to, unfortunately.
And that'd be the equipment that would be ancillary to the fire trucks, like the hoses, the exhaust hoses and filtration systems and.
Yeah, so there's definitely fit up for hard
Yeah,
costs
that's what I was saying.
included in this, because we're not moving from one station to another, so there's not gonna be any savings from moving equipment from an old fire station to a new one. Everything for this is gonna have to be bought to outfit the station. To see if the town will, Article number 19, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate or transfer from available funds money for the Woburn Street Water Booster Station. That's $2.7 million. So Article 20, I know that we had talked about it briefly, but the Shawshene Tech has put forward the articles to fund their feasibility study for their MSBA project. The $311,771 is Townsend's apportioned share, I'm sorry, Wilmington's apportioned share. Sorry, I apologize for that. It's been a long day. Wilmington's apportioned share of the funds. They sent us, since you have received this, they sent us language from MSBA that has to be in this motion. So the actual one warrant that we signed has all the MSBA language, but the number has not changed. It's still 300.
We could ask Townsend if you want
Yeah,
to
right?
take care of this.
I would wish they. So that's actually going to be submitted by the Shawshene Tech School Committee, so they'll be the ones who present that article. Article 21 is to see if the town will raise an appropriate transfer of available funds, $192,919 to correct a prior year's adjustment that was posted incorrectly. This is part of the closing of an audit. I think it was for, or the closing of the year. I think it was for FY '24, where an item was posted in the incorrect fashion at the year-end close. And so we just need to offset that to correct it as requested by our auditors. Article 22 would be to see if the town will vote to raise an appropriate transfer from available funds, a sum of $500,000 to transfer to the Sewer Enterprise Fund. This is to provide a kind of an appropriate buffer for the Sewer Enterprise Fund in an effort to prevent kind of the rapid increase in rates. They had been operating very close to their budget every single year. And so when they had to do capital projects, it was spiking rates. And so after conversations with Joe Labeo and Jamie McGaldy and Stephanie Frontiera, I believed it was appropriate to transfer some money from free cash to subsidize that fund. It is 7:34 if you wanted to maybe
Sure.
take a pause, but it's up to
Yeah, why don't we, are you prepared? Why don't we, why don't we pause the reading of the warrants, and then we'll take, so that these folks can, you're welcome to, after this discussion, you're certainly welcome to, residents are welcome to stay for the balance of the meeting, and we do have a public comment section, so if it's up to you guys how you want to do.
I was expecting the crowd from last night.
Ms. Keough, if you could just give your name and address for the record, and then
I'm
we can go.
Denise Keough, Keough, 21 Hensey Way.
Also, if I could just refer members of the board to the memorandum that was
Yes.
provided by Fire Chief Bill Kavanaugh that is on this, the issue that Ms. Keough is going to be speaking on.
And to preface that, I did send all the board members the publications and the pictures. If anybody didn't get them, let me know. Thank you for having us here. When I say us, I'm talking about all the neighborhoods of 333 Andover Street, which would include my street, Hensey Way, Fiorenza, Andover Street, and Ashwood Ave. And we actually have a bordering street that's half some Wilmington and some Andover of Willard Circle. We want to acknowledge the work that, when I say we, again, I'm speaking of, and I think it's fair to say after yesterday's meeting, I'm speaking for all these neighborhoods. that Chief Kavanaugh and the Wilmington Fire Department has already done a tremendous effort investing 3.5 million gallons, who knows how much dollars that is, and over 5,000 man-hours is quite significant. However, the situation's not been ongoing since early September and continues to impact the residents of the streets that I mentioned. Our concerns fall into three main areas: public health, accountability, and prevention. First and utmost is public health, and won't go into the details that we did with the Board of Health yesterday. But the smoke is definitely having an adverse impact on our well-being, and the photos and the publications I shared with you are evidence. At this point, the smoke, no matter what content it has, is compromising for our still developing youngsters. Obviously not on Hensley Way, but I take care of grandchildren 2 to 3 times a week at my house. The elderly and multiple health compromised residents. The Board of Health has already heard the specific concerns, symptoms, and actual cases of health consequences. Just briefly, one of our neighbors had to move out because it was affecting her breathing so bad. She's now living temporarily with her son. We've had 2 hospitalizations that the smoke could have contributed to. Formal air monitoring by the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection was just taken for the first time yesterday. And that result is pending. It was supposed to be available later yesterday. I don't know if it still is. I've got no word. At this point, should the Massachusetts Department of Public Health be consulted about this prolonged exposure? Could this turn into, have ramifications for our residents down the road? The second point is accountability. We're aware of the efforts made by the town manager and council to draw up and present the legal paperwork to the owner's attorney, as the property owner is responsible for the mitigation. This process needs to be expedited by all involved as soon as possible. We're now going into month number 7. We're here pleading for the Select Board's assistance and any other local and state officials to assist in this being accomplished. Our community, meaning Spruce Farm, has gone all the way up the ladder from town officials all the way up to Seth Moulton to try to get this, and we're getting nowhere. Is the storage of this large wood chip pile compliant with local zoning and fire codes? There's so many questions that this has brought up. Finally, prevention and resolution. When the new mitigation plan by the fire department, Chief Kavanaugh, has explained to us that in his letter, and he was present last night. Will this ensure the fire is permanently extinguished? Will the town commit to regular public updates? The chief has committed and took emails where he will pass along information until this issue is fully and permanently, I emphasize permanently, resolved. Will bylaws be considered to avoid this and similar incidents in the future for our neighborhood and all of Wilmington? Our residents deserve healthy air, truthful and precise transparency and a clear timeline, and assurance that this will not continue to happen. We all share the same goal, a safe and permanent resolution. We appreciate the board's attention and look forward to continuing collaboration. We have volunteers that work in our community. We could build a bucket brigade if we needed. We just need to get this resolved. Thank you.
I think, did you want to talk about from last night's
Sure.
meeting?
So thank you again, Ms. Keough, for coming back out another night. So just for the members of the board to become aware of what happened last night, members of the neighborhood appeared before the Board of Health. There were several who spoke about the impacts that they were feeling to their personal health, the health of their family members, and concerns about other residents. The Board of Health took all those comments, and I was there, Mr. West was there, Chief Kavanaugh was there, and I think what came out of that meeting last night was a couple of different things. The first is, as Ms. Keough mentioned, Chief Kavanaugh committed to doing weekly updates. And we collected a series of emails from folks who were at that meeting and interested in getting those updates. We committed to providing the information that we received from DEP once we got the final report from the work that they did yesterday. Shelley Newhouse, who is, everybody knows, is the director of health here in town, had been requesting the DEP get out to do that work for several weeks, and they unfortunately weren't able to get out there until yesterday, but they did get out there yesterday. Chief Kavanaugh has been doing regular air quality tests for the dangerous, immediately dangerous chemicals that are tested by his equipment. That didn't necessarily cover the particulates that I think the neighbors were concerned about, but DEP's testing was going to be covering those particulates. I let folks know that my anticipation is within the next 2 days, we're going to have documents prepared from town council that we will be getting over to the attorney for the property owners, and that attorney has assured me multiple times that they are ready and willing to sign those documents, allowing us access to the property and protecting us from liability for any kind of work that the fire department or any vendors that we hire do on the property in order to mitigate that. We had a conversation with town council tonight where we reiterated that timeline, and that seemed to be understood. And then at the end of the night, the Board of Health issued an order that the property owner begin mitigation of the issue within 10 days, and to complete that mitigation in no less than 60 days. So that was last night's hearing in front of the Board of Health. And we are still on track to be compliant with the things that we spoke about last night.
Mayor,
Yeah. Mr. Patel.
can I request that this board be added to those emails that are sent to the residents, please?
Absolutely.
Also, as far as the mitigation, it's my understanding that while we're gonna, we're asking the owner to do the mitigation, the town is moving forward to do that mitigation, because obviously we want to resolve this issue. We obviously don't have the confidence that the property owner will be able to afford to do
They've-
it or
they've told us
whatever.
that they can't.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
they-
right. I just wanted to,
But we are, yes, so that's what the.
To clarify
that's what the
that
fire
we
chief
are-
made clear last night, that
Okay.
he's ready once we get this, and the weather now is at
right,
an
yeah,
appropriate
that
place
was,
where we can do the
yeah,
the
his,
move as
his
well.
memo
so-
was great. It was very concise. And
Yeah,
then,
so the memo, I think, was very helpful.
and then also if, you could also share the air quality results when you get them, please.
That will.
With the board
That will
and
go out to the
everybody.
list, and we'll make sure that the
Yeah,
board is.
if we could just be added to their updates, so we know that, obviously, that we're getting the same updates as the residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think at this point in time, the neighbors, all butters, everyone that's concerned with this, knows what the town has been going through to fight to get it resolved. And we're coming to a conclusion, but I think you don't want to hear the conclusion being, we'll get back to you.
But we
You want to
have.
know when it's going to be done. It's, as soon as they get the documents done, the chief is going to be able to say, okay, we've made our contacts, get the trucks in here, and let's get this thing cleaned up. It's not something that's going to
He said within 24 hours, he could probably, once it's signed.
It's not something that's going to drag on anymore. We understand what the situation is. We've been prepped about it as it's been going along. We understand what's happening. I think everyone on the board will have sympathy right now.
It's terrible.
But it's time we don't talk anymore and we get the action done. And the town manager has pushed this to the top of his priority, and we know where the fire chief's coming from on this. We know as soon as he gets the okay, he's gonna have the trucks there and they're gonna get this thing taken care of. Please don't think that we're dragging our feet for any reason at all. We're not. We just wanna make sure that we're, it's sad in today's society, we gotta do things so ultra-legal, instead of being able to go in, get it done, and then fight it. We can't do that anymore. But fortunately, the town manager and the fire chief have been involved in this so heavily that now it's gonna get done. The weather's breaking, we don't have to worry about pipes freezing, water pipes freezing, or anything else. So, I feel you're gonna see action sooner than later. And I know our chief right away he'll be on it as fast as he can.
Mr. Kilwell? Ms. Kara?
I'm good.
Ms. Kara?
Yeah, this has been going on for 7 months, is my understanding.
First reported September 2nd. We started smelling it the end of August.
Yeah, and I want to commend the fire department for the amount of work that they've done over there,
As I said,
as you did as well. And I see our fire chief
Yeah.
is here, and I want to thank you and the men that go into harm's way over there, because you really don't know what it is over there. For 7 months, it's wintertime, and it's still smoldering, which is beyond my
Mind-blowing.
comprehension as to why that's occurring in the winter, right? So we're talking about mitigation within 60 days. I don't really know what that means. Does that mean we're committing to putting this out in 60 days when we
that's
couldn't
the
have done
order.
it for 7 months?
That's the order from the Board of Health
Yeah,
To the residents.
okay,
for the residents.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so,
But how are we going to put it out?
Yeah,
If
so
it
the-
hasn't been put out in 7 months.
yeah, so.
I mean, do we know if there are chemicals? Is DEP going to come in and take a look? I
Well,
mean,
DEP was here yesterday,
Yeah.
and there's no evidence of any chemicals. So they did not do any ground testing because they did not believe it was necessary. The chief has done air quality testing on an almost daily basis, and there have been no evidence of any chemicals in the smoke. So the DEP's not concerned about that. I don't believe the chief is concerned about that. That doesn't mean the smoke's not a problem, but there's no hazardous chemicals in the smoke. When it was discovered on September, as you saw in the memo, the fire department was out there and believed that it was resolved in October. And then 2 months later, unfortunately,
So, excuse my skepticism, but DEP is saying that there's no chemicals in the smoke. They made one visit, and we're still waiting for results for the air quality, which will take a few days. They must be miracle workers to go there and grab smoke and say there's no chemicals in it. I don't get that. If
so
they-
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I apologize. I said that they did not do any ground testing because they did not believe there was any cause for any ground testing to see if there's any chemicals. There's
So
no
how do we
evidence of
get-
chemicals in the
How
pile.
do we get them to do ground testing to see if there's?
Well, there's no evidence, like, as I said, the fire chief has been out there doing air quality testing for the volatile chemicals that would be if something was in that pile every day almost since the smoke started, and there's no evidence of that. It's fairly clear that what's burning is organic material. It's wood chips and logs.
Excuse me, Mr. Kyra, Fire Chief Kavanaugh is there. Bill, would you like to, I don't mean to cut you off, Kevin, you can,
I just want to answer your question, Mr. Kyra. The DEP actually went out and they did test for VOCs, volatile organic chemicals, and they did not find any. And those meters, I can tell you from my time on the state hazmat team, are extremely sensitive. We have also turned pretty much the entire pile and have not found any evidence of anything as far as containers, drums, different colored smoke, changes in activity on the way that it's burning or it's acting. So it leads me to believe that there is nothing there. This is just a really dense pile of wood chips. And it's not dyed mulch, that's the other thing. It's not dyed, it's just natural wood chips.
Good, thank you.
okay, I didn't mean to stop you.
No, that's what I want to hear. I mean, I think that that's what the residents want to hear as well.
It
I hope-
doesn't eliminate the irritation of the smoke.
Oh, I
and
understand, yeah.
how it affects our cardiovascular systems and respiratory systems. And proof is in the pudding with people getting sick.
So to answer the second part of your question, I don't want to step on the chief because he came out with it. We're going to be, the chief has a different plan from the plan that was enacted in September, which was to dig piles of the mulch where the hot spots were, fill those holes with water, and then churn that mulch to try and get the fire put out, and then move to different spots to catch the hot spots. I believe, and again, Chief Kavanaugh, just step in if I'm totally mangling this, but I believe the plan now is to actually take these piles apart, as opposed to leaving them in place, and take them apart and lay them out and
Douse them.
and douse them as they're
And
out
it
of
was-
the piles.
And it was mentioned that the family can't afford to do this mitigation, so the town is taking that responsibility on. Is that correct?
The reason why we're having an agreement is because they have represented that they can't do this work.
Okay. So if that property sells, we should put something where the town gets reimbursed.
That's part of the legal documents that are being prepared by the town council.
What I want to point out, and that's what you were trying to say, is that you're on it. That's where our patience is getting thin, because in October, we were told we're done. It's over with. Middle of December, started up again, notified officials, like I said, bottom all the way up to the top. State Senator Feingold was called in, had some discussions, I believe, with you even, and said, if it's not taken care of by the end of January, let me know. End of January's come and gone. The chief's letter that came out on the 20th of February said, by next week, the latest, by the middle of next week, the latest, the next week, will be taking care of it. I had a phone call with Eric saying, that the lien was signed, and I said, do you anticipate any resistance to this? And he said, no, it's already been signed by the law attorneys. So these are the things, the roadblocks that we are depending on and not seeing, and hence the frustration.
If I may, Ms. Kigo, I have full faith and confidence in the fire department. I think that the chief, like I said, he's been in hazmat situations. He's in process of getting the proper equipment, the heavy equipment, all the, what's ever needed down there. And when I was at this meeting last night, the chief was like, yeah, I'm going down there a second time. I don't want to go there a third. And, you know, as we're holding the town manager to the, to doing absolutely everything and town council to get us properly legally protected, because what we don't want is we don't want Chief Kavanaugh and his men down there, his firefighters, men and women down there, and then all of a sudden getting into a situation, they get hurt, and we shouldn't have been on the property. So we want to make sure that we're covered, the town's covered, and certainly the fire department's covered. But I know, you know, they were in process of getting this thing drafted. Again, I don't live in the neighborhood, but like Ms. Maselli say, I think every one of us feel bad that this situation's occurred. And I have every trust and confidence that the chief, once we get this drafted, he'll be down there with his crew. As he said last night, he's going to be down there, correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, is that you're going to be down there 7 days a week. You'll be down there, you don't want to be down, you'll be down there like at 7 in the morning till like 7 at night, because part of the issue is that you know, maybe later at night, depending, but I know you don't want to create a different nuisance, a noise nuisance, but you certainly want to get everything covered down there. I know Ms. Newhouse was talking about getting some monitors in different areas. She's applied for that. It's going to be a while before they can get them, unfortunately, and she's trying her best. And, you know, I have personally, I think everybody in this room has every faith in our Board of Health that we will, we'll get that equipment so that, number one, we'll make sure that the fire's out, and then also that air quality testing's done in the, not just in your neighborhood, but the whole of, what do you call it? Andover Street and the adjoining side streets down there. So everything will be done to the best of the town's ability. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Manager or Chief Kavanaugh, that any of the statements I made are incorrect.
That's the plan.
One other thing,
Palmer.
too. The one thing you have to please understand is that the town is working as fast as it can. The chief's going to be sitting there saying, as soon as the authorization comes through, he's going to jump on it, his department. When this started to build up, I had spoken to the chief a number of times over it. I have faith in what he's planning on doing to resolve the issue for once and for all. And grant you, it took time. I wish we could have got it done faster, but we have to watch out for the liability end of the town also, which is the residents of the town. And it's been done. The agreement's going to be written up, and as soon as we get it signed by their council, the chief, as he said, he's got the plan all in place. We just got to wait for the documents to be signed. Excuse me.
Ma'am.
I have all the faith, after hearing 2 or 3 times his explanation, that once he gets the go-ahead, we'll see action. As I said in my ending statement, we're pleading for your help to get it to that point. We're pleading because we have, as I said, we've been given a number of deadlines that have come and gone.
Well, you have been heard, and the town understands it, and the town is going to react. They're reacting as fast as legally they can. I don't foresee this to drag out much longer, and I know as soon as the documents are signed, the town manager was just going to pick up the phone and tell the chief, go do your thing. And that's what we're looking for. Just let them do it.
Ms. Maselli?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you to the town manager. Do we have I know we spoke about this, but I know the documents have been drawn up by council and that the residents' council is, do we know when it's going to be signed? Do we have any idea?
No, so
What's the status?
KP is still working on the document.
Oh, they are, okay,
So-
sorry.
So, my hope is, based on my conversations with Mark.
Yep.
that, I'll get those before the end of the day tomorrow, and we'll be able to forward them to town council.
Okay.
To the opposing council.
Okay. And the word from opposing council is they're just kind of waiting for them and they're going to sign, so,
That's what he has represented to me.
okay,
And
thank
the
you.
request that I would have is, right after you get off the phone with Chief Kavanaugh to say that's signed, let this board know and let the public know.
I think that would be, we would certainly put a blast
Yeah.
out to the email group once the authorization to work has been given.
Yep. And we look forward to updates from you, Chief, on that. So I don't know, is there any other comments? Is there anyone here that would like to, it's not, it's not a public hearing, but in the same token, if you guys want, if you could go to the mic and just give your name and address, sir.
Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Rod Martin. I live at 29 Hensey Way. I've heard last night from the town manager that the lawyers, that Eric is going to be, can I call you Eric?
Sure.
Thank you. You can call me Rod. I've been called worse.
Me too.
That you were going to expedite, I don't know if that's the right word, it may not be the word that you used, but to be in touch and pressing on the lawyers to get this document completed that needs to be
As
signed.
recently as, I think, 45 minutes ago,
Yeah.
town council was in this building, so.
Yes.
And I understand that the legal process has to be done. The fire chief's hands are tied completely. It is not his fault. He's done a wonderful job through this. The problem is that we haven't been able to show that the smoke coming out of this fire is a danger to the health of the public. I have a question. It's a it's I guess more a rhetorical question. If the particulate matters had been found back in December to be at a dangerous level, would have that given the town the ability to force entry into this property to take care of the fire in a proper way?
So that generally would fall under the purview of the Board of Health and not the fire department.
Well, definitely not the fire department.
So the Board of Health would have had the same options that they had last night, which was, issue orders, and then if those orders are not complied with, take them to court.
Follow-up issue then is, why did we have to wait so many weeks when a member of the Board of Health was trying to get the Department
DEP.
of Environmental Protection down here, and she was clearly frustrated? Did she take her concerns to any one of the select board?
So she and I talked about it several times, about the fact that she was reaching out to DEP and they were not able to have someone on site. We don't have I don't have a liaison at DEP to reach out to. If I had to reach out to somebody at DEP, I would call Shelley, because Shelley and the chair of the Board of Health actually worked for DEP for many years. So she had, I think, the best chance of anybody of getting that.
So obviously, the Board of Health was unable to come down here and find out what was causing the health problems to everyone in the area. I spoke to a ex-chief of a fire department on Long Island, where I used to live, tonight, and he said, under those conditions, why didn't the town get a private tester in here and to get the results? Is there any reason for that?
That would be a question for the Board of Health.
if the town council, we call them town councils on Long Island, if the select board had been aware, and you said you were aware of the delay, did it occur to anyone here to not wait on the department, the State Department to come in here when people have been coughing, children have been waiting at bus stops, inhaling the smoke? We know there's no volatile chemicals, but I have benign tumors of the lungs, and my doctors have been telling me, make sure you have your air purifiers going, and wear a mask when you're in the area, and I do, throughout. I sleep with a mask on. So, yeah, I'm not the only one. So I don't know about upset, more scared about the condition of my health in the future. I hope to make it to 95. When I went to the Galapagos, all my coughing problems and everything cleared up for 2 weeks. I came back here within 3 days. My eyes were burning, my throat is burning. I developed a cough again. I have body aches, and I'm not the only one. I heard last night that there are a number of people who have that. So we have some biological evidence that there's something going on that could be dangerous. And if the Board of Health couldn't get in here, I just don't understand why we could have circumvented that back in January and gotten private testing, taken the results of that testing, which I'm sure is going to be showing high levels of particulate matter, take that to our lawyers and say, does this give us enough evidence to be able to go into that property and take care of this fire, rather than waiting for the town lawyers to try to get around the situation where we don't, as of still now, know that there's any type of dangerous situation. At least it's not written down on paper.
Certainly understand your frustration. You know, as I said last night, if I was living in this neighborhood, I would be irate. And I think every resident has the
So
your
I'm
thoughts
just
are
asking-
valid. At this point in time, we're moving on what we believe is the quickest path to get this resolved.
Yes, the chief came up with a great plan to take care of this. I know he just can't do it yet. So in the future, if something like this happens in another neighborhood, we do have farms in other neighborhoods, and there's another wood pile, and you can't get the state to get in here for a while, please consider hiring an outside consulting firm to take care of this so that other residents don't suffer like we've had to suffer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anybody else who would like to speak? I know a lot of you spoke last night, and basically, I know the chief, the town manager, myself, Board of Health was there to listen, but if you want to take a few comments. I just have a question. If you could go to the microphone, ma'am, and give your name and address for the record.
Linda Barrett, 17 Hensey Way.
Thank you.
How many signatures are going to be needed for this, for the legal papers? Is it one signature of the owner? I understand it's a large family, and everybody has to sign.
Yes.
And
So,
if one person doesn't sign, that's going to be a problem.
so I believe at this point in time, there are 4 individuals who will need to sign this, but that's my belief on the last time I met with the family.
And if one of those individuals doesn't want to sign for some reason, will that hold things up?
Yes. But, you know, and so that's why I've also talked to town council about, you know, about
What if?
other alternatives we have, if that happens, and they're pursuing that as well.
And a number of you have called various family members and stated what's going on, and again, they're living there too. So I would imagine that they want it cleared up, you know, as quickly as can be done, and we think that, you know, with town council getting on board to do the agreement and the chief's plan, like I said, you know, chief's gonna be down there as much as he can down there, and now the weather's warming up a bit so that we don't have the risk of, I know you had talked last night about the fact that you could have had freeze-ups in your water mains, and now that could have caused serious, what if you had an active fire in that neighborhood and weren't able to get it because a fire broke, water main broke. So, any other comments from the board or any other any other members of the public on this? So, I guess I'll close it and just say, Chief, as soon as we can get you that agreement, we want you down there as quick as possible. We want, we want to be notified, and we want you guys and the town notified as to what's going on down there, and keep everything as above board as we can on that, and just, let's get it out. Denise? You had-
Is a lien different than the paperwork that you're trying to get signed now? 'Cause,
So part of the documentation is about, is getting a lien on the property, yes.
well, that's what you told me last Thursday, that was already signed.
No, ma'am, I did not tell you that last Thursday. Nothing was signed last Thursday, so there wasn't a document. So I'm sorry if there's a misunderstanding, but one of the documents that we're trying to get, in addition to an access agreement, in addition to, making sure that we're not liable for any damage to the property, is a lien so we can recoup our costs.
Ma'am, if you could come to the microphone and give your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Alicia Brown, 6 Hensley Way. Actually, I just want to say to Denise, my husband also called the chief, and he was told that the papers were signed. So, well, I'm just saying what my...
Anything I said, you said, we're looking at signed it. So then again, if the manager, like the manager said, there was a miscommunication, that's it, 'cause I wasn't told there was anything available.
If it was signed, the chief wouldn't be here right now.
I have no idea. If you talk to someone in my office, I don't know what date.
This is what we mean about, the transparency, that we're getting 3 different stories from 3 or 4 different people, and it's getting very frustrating.
Well, that's why we want to get information sent out from the town manager, from the police chief, from the fire chief. So this way here, it's not, well, I called somebody in the office, or I talked to somebody, whatever. We want to make sure that we get the best, most accurate information out from the source, not third, fourth hand. So that's the plan to have done. One last, sir?
My name is Charlie Langles, 15 Hensey Way, resident there. I'd just like to add to this conversation, this smoke is getting in our homes. When we sleep, it's not just during the day, during the night, it's 24/7. It's getting in our house. You can't go outside to get some fresh air because it's worse out there. So anybody who's living there, this smoke is in our homes. To me, push has come to shove. Yesterday was a bad day for myself. My throat was scratchy and itchy, and breathing was difficult. So once again, to me, this is push has come to shove. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, we've got different, we've got the direct route with the town manager getting the legal documents signed. We've got the Board of Health giving an order that they have to comply with. So, we're attacking from different angles, and the ultimate thing is we want the chief to attack the fire, attack the issue and get it solved. And I think, again, I'll just say one last time, I think that everyone in this board, and I'm hoping that everybody, and the town manager, and I think everybody in this room has confidence in the chief that once we get the proper access, that he'll be down there and he'll attack the problem and get it solved. So I don't know if there's any closing comments you want to make, Chief. I don't want to. Okay. Any last thoughts, board members, public? Okay, well, we thank you. You're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. We do appreciate the fact that you brought this forward and brought it forward to the Board of Health last night. I think it was a good dialogue between everybody. And again, as soon as we know what's going on, the information will be out, and we'll go forward from there, and as soon as Chief can react, I know he's going to. So, thank you. So, should we move on with the warrant, non-petition warrant articles?
23.
23.
And again, feel free to stay if you'd like. Mr. Manager?
Yes, so Article number 23, so this is to authorize our continued participation in the MWRA Financial Assistance Program. I believe the total amount for this grant is 1.1 million over several years. This allows us to look at infiltration and inflow reduction, which is basically cracks in the lines that prevent us from getting the full value of our MWRA dollar. Then Article 24, to see if the town will vote to transfer pursuant to Article 40, the Wildwood School. So the school committee took a vote to declare the Wildwood School surplus and to request town meeting transfer it to the care and custody of the select board for general municipal purposes. So this would be the vote that would enact that. Similarly, Article number 25, this is to see if the town will vote to transfer pursuant to Chapter 40, Section 15A. This is the Wilmington Arts Center, so that's the structure immediately adjacent to the cemetery. Transfer that to the select board for general municipal purposes.
Was that, through the chair, was that building turned over to the school? Is that why they're now turning it back over to us? Because
Yeah,
it was out. It was the town's
it was our building. Yes, my understanding is that it was turned over to the school, and the school,
Offices.
yeah, so they occupied it up until they moved into the third floor of the,
Right, no, I realized they occupied it for the student services.
Student
But I
services,
didn't
yes.
know that, you know, I don't remember us
Turned
turning
it
it
over.
over to the school, but that's okay.
Roll it over.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I didn't go back and look to see if they did ever officially turn it over. I didn't want there to be any confusion about whether or not that is under the care and custody of the select board. And so, to the extent this is unnecessary, it's unnecessary. But it'll be very clear if anybody looks who controls this if the board votes this. Article number 26, and I want to thank Mr. DeFeo for being here, because he is the person who brought this up during the last year to make sure that it was on the warrant. This is to vote to see if the town would accept the provisions of the HERO Act. So this is, there are two provisions, Clause 22I and 22J. 22I adjusts the payments by the cost of living, and then 22J, I believe, doubles the payments for the payments for the exemptions. And we'll have some more specific information on that from Karen Rashis at the next meeting. Article 27. This is to a zoning amendment, so we're now moving into the zoning portion of tonight's entertainment. This is the change in the definition of general service restaurant that mirrors what happened in the alcohol regulations, so that
It's removing the seating requirement,
that
'cause it's
removes
already
the
covered.
100-person seating requirement from this definition under zoning, and leaves that in the alcohol regs. Article number 28, this is another thing that came from the Economic Development Committee. So this is to add a new use of a distillery, a brewery, distillery, or winery. The proposal would be to add it in the HI district. And I know that there was
I'll have some comments tomorrow night about that.
about adding it to other. I know there was a tension about whether they should add it to more districts or less. And I think the planning board chose the path of least resistance to put it in HI. And I think some members of the Economic Development Committee had hoped it would be in more.
Right, because we have a brew pub, which is the same as a general service restaurant as far as zones, and to me, there should be no difference, but I'll address that tomorrow.
Article 29, as folks may remember, last year, we changed our accessory dwelling unit bylaw. When that went to the Attorney General's office, they highlighted a couple of very minor changes that needed to be made. And so this enacts those minor changes. I'm sorry, what article are we on now?
30,
Ah,
on the very
Article
bottom.
30, there we go. So Article 30 is a new proposal to amend the bylaw to put in a billboard overlay district. If you, there is a, this is gonna come with a map. The district that is being proposed is on a parcel south of West Street, east of 93. And I can't remember the name of the building that's on that.
The Howland.
Howland.
The Howland Building, yes, thank you, Mrs.
what
Carr.
building?
The Howland Building. So if you're driving up 93, it's on the right, it's the Howland Building.
Yep.
As I mentioned to other folks, I wasn't even aware that that building was in Wilmington, but it's right on the line, on the Wilmington line. So the district that's being proposed for this billboard overlay district encompasses that property. As a part of this, and something that we may be discussing in a future executive session, there's gonna have to be an agreement with the company that wants to put this there. That obviously, for contract negotiations, the board would be able to discuss. But this allows it, and that overlay district would only be located in that one location.
I think you're only allowed to have billboards so many miles on the highway or something like that.
The outdoor advertising board at the state level does have a certain amount of regulation over how fast the boards can change and the distance between boards, but we as a local municipality are also allowed to have our own regulations that can be more stringent than the state regulations.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
So there's an application fee which would come to the town. Is there any other compensation we would receive for that?
As part of the grant agreement that we would be signed, yes, there would
Okay.
be, the thought process behind the grant agreement allowing this zone to be zoned for billboards would be that the town would be receiving annual payments
Okay.
as part of
And
that.
it could be in the hundreds of thousands or
Also,
type ballpark.
Thank you.
also, let's remind folks that they call them rolls for the advertising, and the town would receive X amount of rolls per day. However, it ends up being, and it wouldn't cost us anything. So, Fun on the
only get free
4th,
advertising.
we could be advertising Fun on the 4th on that, at no charge.
Oh, that's great.
A bridge,
Let's not do
issue
that,
comes
though.
up with.
Bridge outing, an annual town meeting, we could have, we would have a certain amount of.
Everything. And that's including the school department also.
Okay.
That would be under the town's control. The specifics of that agreement would be negotiated between the select board
Sure.
and the applicant. So
Okay.
there's other things that may or may not be in that agreement, depending on what the board's pleasure is. And that's kind of a long one, so as you can see, that goes on for a little while. Article 31, so this is the resurrection of the demolition delay bylaw that the Historic Commission had put forward last year, and they made some adjustments to it and did some outreach, my understanding is, and so this is their second attempt at a demolition delay. If you go on to number 32, then you get into those petitioned articles. We did talk about those before, but we can, if the board wants me to go through them, we can, but we did have a discussion about those.
Yeah, we did them last meeting, I think.
Yeah.
We're all,
I looked around.
you guys all set, or you wanna?
Okay.
I'm okay with them.
I'm okay.
Okay.
There's a typo.
Edit 'em,
Did you
so.
see that? It's right here on page,
Is that in the petitioned article?
it's in the, petition number
Yeah, we are
36.
not allowed to fix that.
Gotcha. I
So
thought
j-
so, but I wasn't, I
Yeah,
wanted
just
to
so
see.
everybody knows, if there are typos in the petitioned articles, don't blame Bev. We have to put them in exactly as they are submitted, even if there are typos.
Right. Okay.
So, that's not our,
I
that's
just
not.
wanted to be sure.
I saw the pain on her
bad.
face, as she had to print out
I
something
know.
with a clerical error on it.
I think
No
that's
worries.
Communications?
Well, I think perhaps we should go to number 6 as,
Oh, yeah.
And you want to make the
Is there a motion to close and sign the warrant for the annual town meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. De Palma, second by Ms. Maselli. Is there any discussion on that? All in favor? Thank you. 5-0.
Communications.
Yes.
We already did discuss the communication from the fire chief. So I think we are good with that. The next is a communication from Jamie McGaldy. As requested, there was an ARPA funding update. Anybody have any questions regarding ARPA? Does that have everything that you were looking for,
Yeah,
Mr. Kyra?
that's good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank Jamie and Stephanie. I have zero to do with it other than asking them to prepare it. Another member of the board had requested an update on the Butters Row bridge replacement. So we are about halfway through that project at this point in time. So, you know, this is where what we currently expect to be happening, but we still have a ways to go before that bridge is going to be back up and running.
I got a related question because it's tied in. When are they supposed to start the Route 38 project, which this is part of? You know, the one from 62 all the way down to Woburn? Because that's when this is going to come into play, but it's going to start at 62 and come down.
Yeah, and I think that Jamie had hoped that was already going to be started.
That's what I thought.
And so we're kind of at the mercy of MassDOT.
Yeah, no
A
updates
little bit
though?
from it. I can certainly ask if we have any further updates, and I can let the board know. I haven't heard from him any particular dates. We're trying to prepare. I think the town has done a lot of things to put things in place, so we're ready to
Then you got
put water mains in when they start doing the work. We're ready to do the
Bridge by the dog park, it's part of it, right?
yeah. But I haven't heard a start date for that.
No worries.
We had another question regarding online bill payment.
It's live, right?
It's live.
It's live, right?
It's live and active, so
Yep, so this kind of goes.
you can do online.
Goes away.
You can do online bill payment now, so that's great. And then I believe we would be going to, board to consider number 7.
PBA.
Okay, so is there a motion to execute the collective bargaining agreement between the town of Wilmington and Wilmington Police Supervisors Association from the period of July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2029?
So moved.
Mr. De Palma, a motion, and a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Maselli. Is there any discussion from any of the members? Okay, I'd like to entertain a vote. All in favor of supporting the agreement?
Thank you. We have number 8, a board to consider ratifying the town manager's appointment of Michael Comosio as a member of the Permanent Building Committee for a term to expire April 30th, 2026.
Okay, is
So moved.
Mr. Camacho here?
Yeah, I don't believe Michael's here.
Okay. Okay, is there a motion? Sorry.
So moved.
Second.
So, Gary, any discussion? All in favor?
I just want to say very briefly, I know that Kevin has had the pleasure of working with Mr. Comosio, as I have on the school building committee. He's very thoughtful. Lil has too, for your time on the committee. He's a very thoughtful, intelligent gentleman who lives in Wilmington. He has kids at the schools, and I think he's going to be a great addition to the permanent.
Bill, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So thank you, Michael, for volunteering. Board to consider number 9, board to consider that Wilmington Town Common be illuminated in blue during the month of April in observation of autism awareness.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Board to consider number 10, Mr. Chair, a board to consider the request of Jennifer Bolanos on behalf of a Junior WOW Club to use the town common on Saturday, April 4th at 2:00 PM for an Easter egg hunt.
Move.
Is there-
Second?
Rapid fire down there.
no, any discussion? All in favor?
Board to
What do I
consider
get?
number 11, board to consider the request of Ryan Gendron, principal of Wilmington High School, to use the town common on Thursday, May 28th, 2026, from 9 to 2 for a senior barbecue.
Okay, is there a motion?
Certainly hope we will get invited, since we'll be looking out on the common while they're cooking.
Is there a motion? Mr. De Palma, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Gawa, any discussion? What's on the menu? All in favor? Thank you.
Final board to consider summer meeting schedule. Proposed dates, July 13th and August 17th. As the board is aware, we generally only do one meeting in the months of July and August.
13th would be there, and August 17th.
If everybody could look at your calendars.
Do you guys want to take both dates up, or one at a time?
I have to look still, hold on.
Yep.
Please.
It doesn't conflict with the barbecue.
Let's not conflict with the barbecue.
I checked.
So I looked real quick. I can, July 13th is not ideal, but I can make it work, so I can make them work. But if somebody else had a problem, then I'd
You
be
jump
okay
on.
with that. But no, I'll figure it out. No worries.
I'm okay with both.
So am I.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Wait a minute,
Okay, so is
Oh,
there,
wait.
wait a minute, wait a minute.
Oh.
July 13th?
Yep.
Oh, okay, and the 17th of August, okay. Yeah,
Correct.
I'm good.
okay, is there a motion to consider the proposed dates of July 13th and August 17th?
So move.
Mr. Palmer, is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay.
Nobody's there.
I didn't hear him.
All in favor? Okay,
Those are the ends of our board to consider,
Thank
Mr.
God.
Chair.
thank you for a long list. Thank you, Mr. Manager. Is there any public comments? Anybody from the public would like to speak? Sir, if you could go to the microphone, please, give your name and address, and we do limit public comments to 5 minutes.
I'm Sean Bradford, 34 Lake Street. I had a couple of petition articles for the warrant. Sounds like some of you had some questions about them last month or last time they were talked about. It is the community garden, the invasive species, and the right to farm bill. I don't know if anybody remembers their questions, but I'd love to answer.
Yeah, but the only one was, that I had at least, I think you had similar, was the $50,000. It seems like a lot. I know it's up to,
Complete
but,
ballpark.
yeah, okay, I had to know if there's something behind
I
it.
have to put a number, and
Right.
I assume it'll be 5,000, but if something goes horrifically wrong, 50 is a reasonable cap.
It's just so I'm aware, for this type of one, since he petitioned it, who actually gets that, signs off on what that study is?
So he's petitioning for the funds, but those funds get expended
Yeah, so
by
we
the
still
town.
get to, so,
Yes. So we would be the ones who would do the feasibility
yeah,
study. if it got
okay,
approved
just
by
double checking, so then,
Correct.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm
So
good.
Inevitably, it would be either the Board of Selectmen here, or if you vote to create a subcommittee down the road.
Okay, any other?
Through the chair, I did speak as well.
Sure.
Just so you're aware that when the Yentile Recreation Committee was in operation, we did look at a community garden, and
Right.
we looked at a piece of land over near the Thomas April Field or the Wilmington Town Park at the time, so that's already been investigated. I know that they'll need to bring in water is a big issue over there, but
Yeah,
just
so
so you know, it was
Right.
looked at.
I've been personally trying to get this done. I know Mr. Slagle might remember, might not.
You do?
We had a meeting with him several years ago, and it's just been pushed back, back burner for, several years. I've personally done a lot of legwork identifying other parcels in town, not the town park, but the unused parcels, wooded parcels around town. There's one over by the lake, the beach. There's one off of Salem Street. There's one possibly over by the dog park, but it sounds like those Route 38 improvements are gonna pretty much ruin that chance. And there was one other that I can't honestly remember. But, yep. So I have done a fair amount of work on it. I would love to see this happen, and if it, if $1 is spent on it, they say no, so be it.
Okay. Any other comments?
No, if anybody has any other questions, otherwise I'm good.
Just, so you're aware there's the public hearing tomorrow night.
Yes, I will be there as long as my unit lets me out.
There's likely to be more questions there, because the finance committee, I think, will take that up.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to speak? Okay, announcements. Anybody here have an announcement? Boy, we all want to go home. New business, any new business? Okay. Important dates, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Important dates. We have March 5th, the Finance Committee Planning Board public hearing in Town Hall. That's tomorrow night. It's in the large meeting room, which is next door at 7:00 p.m. March 23rd, the Select Board will meet at Town Hall in this hearing room at 7:00 p.m. Also, March 9th, there will be a meeting, but it will not be a public meeting. It will be an executive session.
Correct.
April 1st, there'll be brush drop-off at Old Main Street from 8 to 2 p.m. April 4th, there'll be brush drop-off from Old Main Street from 9 to 4. From April 6th to April 10th, there'll be curbside collection of leaves and grass. April 8th, there'll be brush drop-off at Old Main Street from 8 to 2. April 12th, I got to do this for the first time last year. It was very fun. There's a Little League opening day parade on April 12th.
Yep.
Look forward to everybody coming to that. April 13th, we have a select board meeting here in Town Hall in this hearing room. April 15th is the last day to register to vote for the annual town election and the annual town meeting. The clerk's office will be open until 5 on April 15th. Also on April 15th, we have brush drop-off at Old Main Street from 8 to 2. April 18th, brush drop-off at Old Main Street from 9 to 4. April 20th, town offices will be closed for Patriots Day. April 20th through 24th, the curbside collection of leaves and grass. April 22nd, brush drop-off at Old Main Street from 8 to 2. April 25th, brush drop-off at Old Main Street from 9 to 4. April 25th is the annual town election. Polls open at 8 a.m., or out from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Please note, that election will take place in 2 locations. 1, the new town hall, and 2, the new senior center. So make sure you check to see where your precinct is voting. If you came to the old town hall last time, you're coming to the new town hall this time. So we look forward to having a very busy day on the 25th.
Or you can early vote here.
That's what I was going to say. What are the early vote dates? I know what
we
they are,
approved
but they're not
them.
on here.
We approved them. I do not know.
Week before?
Because I knew it was a week earlier.
The 13th through the 17th.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
April 27th, we have a select board meeting here at Town Hall in the hearing room from at 7 o'clock. April 29th, we have brush drop-off at Old Main Street from 8 to 2. And as we just voted on the warrant, on May 2nd, we have the annual town meeting at the high school auditorium at 9 o'clock a.m. So that's Saturday morning, May 2nd at 9 a.m. Thank you very much.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, we have our salute to veterans. This particular meeting, we honor Spec 4 John McCune, U.S. Army. John was born on October 2nd, 1958, entered the service on September 1st, 1977, from Boston, Mass. Served in the USAREUR, United States Army Europe, separated at Fort Dix, New Jersey on August 29th, 1980. On February 3rd, 1995, now Staff Sergeant McCune went into first warrant 1st Warrant Officer Company Tradoc Training Center at Fort Rucker, Alabama, left Fort Rucker on September 2nd, 1995. On October 6, 2001, Chief Warrant Officer, CW2, was activated in support of Operation Noble Eagle and served in various countries until October 5, 2002. On 1 August 2003, CW3 was activated again for Operation Enduring Freedom, where he served in Kuwait and Iraq in 2004. He returned back on January 25, 2005, and separated from Fort Belvoir, Virginia. On February 14, 2006, CW3 McCune was activated again for Operation Noble Eagle and separated from USA Protective Service Unit at Fort Belvoir, Virginia on August 11, 2006. Continuing John's service, CW4 John McCune was activated again on February 1, 2011 for support of contingency operations for active duty operational support and separated from Provost Marshal General at Fort Belvoir, Virginia on January 31, 2012. November 3, 2014, CW4 McCune was activated again for Operation Enduring Freedom and was separated from USA Protective Service Unit, Fort Belvoir, Virginia on August 28, 2015. On September 1, 2015, CW4 was activated again for Operation Enduring Freedom and separated from 315th MP Det J.B. Lewis McCord on August 30, 2016. Chief CW4 McCune served as a CID special agent. During his time, John was awarded Defense Meritorious Service Medal, long day, Meritorious Service Medal, Second Award, Joint Service Commendation Medal, Army Commendation Medal, Army Achievement Medal, Army Good Conduct Medal, Army Reserve Component Achievement Medal, 8th Award, National Defense Service Medal with Bronze Service Star, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Non-Commissioned Officer Professional Development Ribbon, Second Award, Army Service Ribbon, Overseas Service Ribbon, Army Reserve Component Overseas Training Ribbon, Third Award, Army Forces Reserve Medal with M Device, Third Award, Armed Forces Reserve Medal with 40-Year Defense Gold and Bronze Hourglass, Army Staff Identification Badge. Currently, John Jack is the commander of the VFW here in Wilmington, Mass. So again, we salute the service of Jack McHugh. Thank you. With that, is there a motion to end our meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. 1, 2, all in favor? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Our meeting is ended. Have a great night.